There we go. I'm not muted anymore. Forgot to press my button, didn't I? Hey up, it's that old Yorkshire geek here. Back with more geeky news. I'm hoping we're all working. I think we are. Let me get rid of that. I think we're alright now. I do believe. Right, anyway. So, just checking me streams and they seem okay. My microphone's doing noisy things. I hope you can hear me. and I think we're all okay. Right, anyway, so we've got some news tonight. We're going to, later on, for the last bit, we're going to carry on with the upcoming sci-fi movies, which we started yesterday. But we'll carry on with that tonight. But we've got some other news. We've got some sad news about one of the original Star Trek actresses who sadly passed away. But we'll start off with a bit of DC. So I'll get that up when I can find the bugger. It's disappeared again. See, I'm going to have to get it now. I don't know. Right, window. Hey. I thought I'd sorted this out. Or it might have just vanished by itself. There we go. There we go. It's on now. Man, I've got to faff about now. Look and do this. And move it up there and then put me in front. There we go. There we go. Right. There. Hang on. There. Right, we're off. Right. Colin Farrell reveals more about the Penguin spin-off series for HBO Max after saying he fought valiantly to smoke a cigar in the Batman. Yeah, 'cause smoking is like, boo, can't smoke, can you? These days. I don't smoke, but I have done in the past, but I don't anymore. Cheers, I've got a little drink. It's rum and coke tonight, so if I go a bit, that's why. But it's no new. Right, off we jolly well go. Right, Colin Farrell. Gone too far. Colin Farrell teased more information that his upcoming spin-off series, about his upcoming spin-off series, The Penguin. This is the first I've heard of this, by the way. The actor, 45, is that all he is? God, blimey, I thought he were older than that. He seems to have been around forever, doesn't he, Colin Farrell? He's only 45. Bloody hell. Discussed the series during an interview with Entertainment Tonight in anticipation of The Batman. The Penguin will focus on the eponymous Batman rogue, also known as Oswald Cobblepot, and there's Colin Farrell. During the interview, Farrell said the series, which was announced late last year, is very early in the development process. I've only had one drink out of it. Already I'm slurring. Pardon me, now I'm burping. It's never ending. We have to get... My stomach's been rumbling as well, so you might hear that going off. What a night! Anyway, right, we have to get into what made him the man he is, and also it will pick up where this film finished off. I think the star said, but probably in an Irish accent because he's Irish, isn't he? I'll not do an Irish accent because it'll be offensive. I think it'll pick up a little short time after the last frame of this film. We'll get to go on a little kind of left turn off to the world of Oswald, and how he's beginning to kind of dream of filling a potential power vacuum that may exist. The Saving Mr. Banks star couldn't reveal many details about the story or the plot, but he did share his special affinity for the character, and there he is in the film. As they've said, he's unrecognisable, and yeah, pretty much is, isn't he? Because he's just covered in makeup to look like... He don't really look like the Penguin, though, does he? Not really. But anyway, just looks like a gangster, doesn't he? Not the Penguin. Hasn't even got a top hat on. But does he go like Burgess Meredith? I bet he don't. It's a lovely, lovely character and explores vulnerabilities, he said. His violence is apparent. His propensity for violence and his ability to use it as a tool is apparent. But to see We all have soft spots. Every single person, and to be able to find that location, dig around it, would be fun. Farrell's interview with Entertainment Tonight came just days after he revealed he wanted to show the Penguin's smoking habit in the Batman, but the studios shot it down. The new interview for Jake's Takes... I'm doing well tonight, aren't I? In a new interview for Jake's Takes, the Irish actor revealed he had made the case for Penguin to appear with his typical top hat, monocle and cigarette. I fought valiantly for a cigar, he said, but ultimately the studio ruled against it. So he's just going to have the top hat and monocle, is he? Or is he not going to have any of them? We'll see. There's Burgess Meredith, look. And there's Colin again. Big studios make big decisions around such things as the presence of cigarettes in films, he explained. He continued, I'm sure I've got toothpaste in my moustache. I've just brushed my teeth and it feels weird. I think I've got some toothpaste in my moustache. Have I? Can you see it? Is it there? I don't know. I'm a slob. He continued, I fought valiantly for a cigar. At one stage I said, I can have it unlit. Just let me have it unlit. They were like, no. As if a bunch of 12-year-olds are going to start smoking Cuban cigars because the Penguin is smoking cigars in the movie, Farrell remarked. The Batman, directed by Matt Reeves and co-starring Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz and Paul Dano, is set for the theatrical release on March the 4th. Is that it? Oh, yes, that's it. And there is Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz in her not controversial, but it turned heads, didn't it, that dress? And so it should. And so it should. It's very nice. And she's jolly pretty, I suppose, if you like that. What's up with her ears? Or is that just the earrings? And he's looking suitably dour, pouting slightly. Got that 80s pout going. I can't do it. Or is it blue steel? I don't know. Anyway, so there we go. So he fought valiantly for the cigar, but he's not going to have one. They should have let him have one. Do the scene with the cigar and do without one. But then again, how many scenes is he in? I don't know. Anyway, we'll find out when it comes out. Right, sad news now. Sally, come on then. There we go. MASH star Sally Kellerman dies aged 84. And there she is. But, a lot of people watch MASH. I didn't. I don't think I even saw one episode of MASH. I'm sorry, I hadn't seen the film. It was something that didn't appeal to me. As a kid, I've not seen it as an adult either. So maybe I should rectify that. But obviously she's more well known to us geeky people as for her role in Where No Man Has Gone Before, the second pilot episode for Star Trek. It'll say down here somewhere, won't it? Anyway, we'll get to that. We'll read about her. Sally Kellerman, best known for her role as Hot Lips Houlihan in MASH, has died at the age of 84. The Oscar-nominated actress died on Thursday morning at an assisted care facility in Woodland Hills after a battle with dementia, her son Jack told The Hollywood Reporter. It's sad, isn't it? It's sad seeing these, vibrant people just as they get older, just become, shadows of the former selves. And it is sad. It is sad. Her acting career spanned more than 60 years, appearing in her first film, Reform Schoolgirls, in 1957. She went on to appear in TV series throughout the 60s, including Star Trek, The Twilight Zone, and Hawaii Five-0, before her big role as Major Margaret Hot Lips O'Houlihan in MASH. She was nominated for Best Actress in a Supporting Role for her performance, but lost out to Helen Hayes for Airport. After MASH, Kellerman appeared in many more of director Robert Altman's films, including The Player and Pret-a-Porter. She also featured in films like The Last of the Red Hot Lovers and Back to School. Kellerman continued to work in her later years, landing a recurring role in The Young and the Restless as Constance Bingham from 2014 to 2015. Something I've never seen. But, pardon me, sorry I'm burping again, I do apologise. Her last credit was in TV series Sammy last year, so she was working all the way up to the end, more or less. A woman of many talents, Kellerman was also an accomplished singer and stage actress. Kellerman signed a recording contract with Verve Records when she put. Hang on, is that? Where are we? Here we are. Right. When she was just 18, but waited to release her debut album in 1972. She released a second album in 2009 and contributed songs for various film soundtracks. From 1970 to 1972, Kellerman was married to producer Rick Edelstein. In 1976, she adopted her niece Claire. She went on to marry screenwriter Jonathan D. Crane in 1980, and the pair adopted baby twins Jack and Hannah. Crane died in 2016, with Hannah dying just a couple of months later. Oh dear. Tributes have come in for the late star, with one fan writing, rest in peace to a real one, the great Sally Kellerman. Rest in peace, Sally Kellerman, always loved her work, another said. And that's it. And we've got another bit, another article about Sally Kellerman, about her role in Star Trek, so we'll go on to that one. That was from Metro, the previous one was from the Daily Mail, as usual. This one's from heavy.com or whatever, yeah. As usual, all the links are in the description box below. And as usual, don't forget to like and subscribe and share the videos and use the notification bell thing. Turn it on so you'll be notified when I do new stuff. And what else? And drop a comment in the comment section below. Be nice to me. And be nice to each other. Because that's what it's all about. Right. So here we go, carrying on with Sally Kellerman. Remembering the first female Star Trek supervillain, Sally Kellerman. She wasn't really a supervillain, was she? But there she is in Star Trek. As so many know, there were two first tries for Star Trek at the show's beginning. The first attempt was the cerebral tale featuring aliens torturing the captain of the Enterprise. The Cage starred film actor Jeffrey Hunter as Captain Christopher Pike and ultimately rejected by NBC. The show's creator, Gene Roddenberry, had one more shot at getting things right. His second attempt, where are you going? Where No Man Has Gone Before, starred William Shatner as the dashing and charismatic Captain James T. Kirk. Along with Kirk, the Enterprise crew was diverse, featuring a physicist named Sulu, George Takei, the engineer Scotty, James Doohan, and the Doctor Paul Fix. And there was this one holdover from the Cage, an alien first officer named Spock, played by Leonard Nimoy. The story centred around the galactic barrier, and how this natural phenomenon affected two Starfleet personnel, Gary Mitchell, Gary Lockwood, and Dr. Elizabeth Dana, Sally Kellerman. It was Commander Gary Mitchell. I think he was the executive officer of the Enterprise, I do believe. These two characters suddenly had incredible powers to manipulate objects with their thoughts and shoot lightning from their fingertips. These two were known as espers, which is an extension of extrasensory perception. Not an extension, is it? It's a shortening of extrasensory perception. An abbreviation is the word we're looking for. Lockwood was a science fiction star. He portrayed one of the doomed astronauts in Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece 2001: A Space Odyssey. But that were after Star Trek, wasn't it? Star Trek 1966. The first series, and 2001 didn't come out till 1968. So there you go. According to the book Star Trek, the original series, A Celebration, Kellerman worked with Lockwood before on an episode of The Craft Suspense Theatre. Kirk and Spock had to figure out how to deal with these two, who were proving to be a menace aboard the Enterprise. As they remained on board, the ship was in danger of being taken over or destroyed. Kirk beamed down to the planet's surface with members of the crew, the espers, and a very famous phaser rifle. Thanks to the help of Dana, Kirk took care of business and defeated godlike Lockwood. So she wasn't a supervillain, was she? She did some bad things because she got carried away with the powers that they had, but in the end, she was a goodie. Most moviegoers remember Kellerman for her Oscar-nominated role in the Korean War comedy film MASH, but Trek fans remember her as Dr. Elizabeth Dana. According to Variety, Kellerman died today, February 24th, 2022. So that's yesterday, at the age of 84. Some may also recognise her for her role in Rodney Dangerfield's Back to School. There's some tweets. Did it? Not a tweet. As did many others, the producer, author and co-host of the Inglorious Trexperts podcast, Mark A. Altman, posted a tribute to Kellerman today. Rest in peace, Sally Kellerman, who always brought life to whatever characters she played, Altman said. A terrific actress in some great films, and of course, esperific in the second Star Trek pilot. Altman, along with writer Ed Gross, interviewed Kellerman for their book The 50-Year Mission, the complete, uncensored, unauthorised oral history of Star Trek the first 25 years. She told Gross and Altman how she was unfamiliar with science fiction and thought Lockwood was an amateur. Ooh. Meow. Kellerman on Trek. Tonight's episode, where no man has gone before. Will it play? Or will I get a thing? Shall we see what happens there? Let's see what happens. It's 5 minutes. We can't watch 5 minutes, can we? Is it going to do anything? Oh, come on, get on with it. It's not. No, never mind. Right, I just finished Craft Theatre with Gary Lockwood, and the one time we were shooting our scene and he didn't know his lines, I thought, oh, what an amateur, Kellerman said in the book. Next thing I know, I'm cast in the pilot of Star Trek with Gary Lockwood, the amateur, she said. When I saw him stage all the fight scenes, I got over the amateur stuff. I was swooning off stage. Kellerman told Altman and Gross that Shatner had a great sense of humour, and she knew Nimoy from a stage play in which he was the director. Last year, someone came up to me and said, "You are the reason the pilot sold." And I said, "I always felt that was true. Of course it was me." Very good. Oh, that's it. So that's why they needed her, because she sold the pilot. And I can believe it. That and the fist fight. So apparently there weren't enough fist fights in the cage. There were kind of one, weren't there, when Pike had his hands around the throat of the Telosian, and it turned into a monster, didn't it? That was as close as we got to a fist fight, I think, in that. Oh, he fought on Rigel, whatever. He fought that big warrior on there, didn't he? So, there were fights in the cage. I don't know why they rejected it. Anyway, maybe they just didn't like Jeffrey Hunter, eh? Maybe that's it. So there, anyway, so sad, she's passed away, but 84, it's a decent age, isn't it? I hope I make it to 84, I do. But, will any of it... shut up, right. Right, Batgirl, Michael Keaton shares new image wearing his Batman suit. I need another drink. We're still streaming. We are. Right. Michael Keaton shares an image of himself wearing the Batman suit while he films his scenes for the upcoming Batgirl film starring Leslie Grace. And there he is in, I think it's Batman. Is that Batman Returns? I bet it is. I bet that's Batman Returns. But I could be wrong. Michael Keaton shares a photo of himself wearing the Batman suit for Batgirl. After several decades, the actor is revisiting his DC role as the Caped Crusader, appearing in Andy Muschietti and Ezra Miller's The Flash. Luckily, it isn't a one-time thing, as he will also reprise the role in Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah's Batgirl film for HBO Max. Leslie Grace transitions from her brilliant performance in John M. Chu's In the Heights to the DC EU sandbox, playing the titular character of the movie, Barbara Gordon. This marks the character's return on the screen since Alicia Silverstone's version in 1977's Batman and Robin. Your compost. Oh, God. Acting as an origin story, Batgirl will tackle the beginnings of the hero as a young officer in the Gotham City Police Department, who also happens to be GCPD Commissioner Jim Gordon's J.K. Simmons' daughter. No release date has been announced for the movie, but production is still in full swing in Europe, with various set images and videos making their way online and further hyping up the public. Now, however, the latest content from Batgirl comes from Keaton himself. The actor shared an image of himself wearing his Batman suit for the movie. Unfortunately, he was creative enough to share a snap of his costume shadow. Nonetheless, fans are thrilled to see it. Check it out below. Let's be thrilled. Ooh, a shadow of the suit. It is quite cool though, isn't it? You got to admit. When you see that shadow, it is quite cool. It's like there's two shadows. There's one there and there's one there. There's a main one and a secondary one there. Very good. What's all this? Is that some sort of grating? Wonder what's going on there. Anyway, where are you going? Previous set images have offered the fans their first look at Keaton back in his Batman suit for Batgirl, but there still hasn't been an official promotional still released by Warner Brothers regarding the character's upcoming return on the screen. While he's been prominently featured in marketing videos for The Flash, he's been purposefully hidden in shots, only featuring a shot of his cowl from the back. I think there's been another image though. I'm sure I've seen another image of it's like a silvery colour. Well, it might just be lighting, but it looks like a silvery coloured suit, and I must admit it doesn't look right good. And it looks like a stuntman, to be honest, in the suit. It doesn't look like Keaton. Anyway, I don't know. In the latest collective DCEU trailer, Keaton provides a segment of the voiceover, but that's about it. In any case, it's safe to assume that the actor has been mandated not to share his full look for either The Flash or Batgirl yet. It might be something that Warner Brothers is saving for The Flash's premiere. Otherwise, fans can expect it to be included in upcoming promotional content for Miller's solo flick. Don't drink rum and coke when you're trying to do a live stream. They're not good bedfellows. To say that fans are excited to see Keaton return as Batman in the DCEU would be an understatement. For many, he remains the quintessential version of the character in terms of live-action iterations. There are rumours that he will ultimately take over the spot as the franchise's primary Batman from Ben Affleck, who is also returning in The Flash, but not in Batgirl. Many are curious how this could play out, but it could very well be explained by the existence of DC's budding multiverse, because that's the big thing. That's it. And it's showing what films are coming out. Pardon me. So, key release dates: The Batman is out March 4th, The Flash November 4th, DC League of Super Pets, what the bloody hell, May 20th, Black Adam July 29th, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom December 16th, Shazam Fury of the Gods. Well, they don't mention Batgirl, do they? Unbelievable. So there you go. So that's that. Very, very interesting. Yeah, we're still going. I just keep checking that, so I'll make sure we're still streaming. Right, next up. There we go. Cover art released for novel Star Wars Padawan. The cover art for the upcoming novel Star Wars Padawan was revealed today, thanks to an updated Amazon listing. The upcoming hardcover is set for release on July 26, 2022. You can currently pre-order from Amazon for whatever. Check out the synopsis below. Where are you going? Obi-Wan Kenobi has not been apprenticed long to Qui-Gon Jinn, and he's chafing at Qui-Gon's training style, all meditation, no action. Obi-Wan yearns to prove himself on a mission, but when he and Qui-Gon are finally set to leave on an assignment, Qui-Gon is nowhere to be found. Angered by his master's abandonment, Obi-Wan sets out on the mission alone, determined to prove himself. On a mysterious planet, he encounters a pack of feral, force-wielding teens, who seem to be the planet's only inhabitants, as he experiences wild freedom with them. And wonders if this isn't the life he was meant for. Obi-Wan can't escape the nagging sense that something is wrong with the Force there. Growing attachments, startling revelations, and a looming threat to both the planet and his new friends will bring Obi-Wan face to face with his worst fear, that maybe he was never supposed to be a Jedi at all. Can he connect with the living Force in time to save himself and everyone around him? It's like Lord of the Flies in Star Wars, sort of. There we go. Written by Kirsten White, and there's the cover. A young Ewan McGregor. What's that? Is that an eye? An eye on a tentacle. Looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah, it's not exactly, yeah, it's good, but, it's a nice painting and that, but apart from the eye on the tentacle, there's not much going on, is there? It's lightsaber ready. Note, if you purchase one of the awesome products... about the author, there we go. The author of the book. Kirsten White is the New York Times best-selling, Bram Stoker award-winning and critically acclaimed author of many books, including the And I Darken trilogy, the Slayer series, the Camelot Rising trilogy, and her upcoming adult debut, Hyde. Her books have been published in over 20 territories, and her novel, The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein, is currently in development with Sony Pictures Television. Kirsten lives with her family in San Diego, where she can regularly be found pressing her hands against the glass of her back door, furtively whispering "I love you" to her deeply ambivalent tortoise, Kimberly. I suspect Kirsten White might have written that that about the author thing. So there you go, a Star Wars book is coming out. I'm sure there's many Star Wars books coming out, but that one caught my eye. Right, other things that caught my eye. Funko celebrates Star Trek's most heartbreaking moment with a new pop set. Funko recreates one of the most iconic moments in Star Trek history with a new exclusive Wrath of Khan figure set. And there's a little half picture showing what they're on about. The death of Spock is recreated in the cutest way possible in a new Star Trek Funko Pop diorama. The new Wrath of Khan set is part of Funko's Pop Moment line, which recreates iconic scenes and events from pop culture using the company's iconically stylized figures. The new diorama recreates Spock's death from the end of 1982 Star Trek II The Wrath of Khan, after heroically sacrificing himself to save the Enterprise and her crew. No, I'm not going there. Spock shares one last heartfelt conversation with Kirk before the Vulcan succumbs to the deadly radiation flooding the chamber. He's dead already! While the beloved science officer's demise will be undone in the next film in the series, 1984 Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, the scene is nonetheless remembered as one of the most memorable and emotionally moving scenes in the entire franchise. And there it is, from a tweet from Funko. There he is, look. Spock! The ship out of danger. Yes. Whatever. Hey. The Pop Moment figure is one of several new collectibles announced today by Funko as part of the company's Target Con 2022 collaboration. As the name of the event suggests, all of the new figures revealed today, including the Wrath of Khan set, will only be available for sale exclusively at Target stores. The other new figures announced today include a new variant of the Boba Fett pop figure that features a new metallic red paint job, as well as a new figure of Yu-Gi-Oh's Black Luster Soldier. That means nothing to me. Star Trek II The Wrath of Khan was directed by Time After Time's Nicholas Meyer. Who would later return to the franchise to direct Star Trek IV The Voyage Home. No, he didn't. I think he wrote one of the writers of Star Trek IV The Voyage Home, but that was directed by Leonard Nimoy. But he did direct Star Trek VI The Undiscovered Country. I don't know. Series creator Gene Roddenberry was infamously forced out of the movie's production following the mixed critical reception to the first Star Trek movie. Despite that, Wrath of Khan is generally regarded as one of the best movies in the franchise. No, it's the best movie in the franchise. And was both a critical and commercial success, earning $97 million USD, US dollar, against a budget of just $12 million. The movie features the return of Khan Noonien Singh, a genetically enhanced super soldier from the original series who seizes the Federation Starship Reliant and uses it to exact his revenge on Captain Kirk. It's Admiral Kirk, isn't it? Admiral Kirk. Admiral. And the crew of the Enterprise. Spock's original actor, the legendary Leonard Nimoy, passed away in 2015 at the age of 83. The character was portrayed by Zachary Quinto, Heroes, in J.J. Abrams' 2009 Star Trek reboot, and its subsequent sequels. Ethan Peck portrayed a younger version of the Vulcan officer in the second season of Star Trek Discovery, and is set to reprise the role for the upcoming spin-off series Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which will be crap. Telling you, it will. But I'm sure there'll be people that'll like it. But they are deluded. Apologies if that's you. Right. So there we go. So that's nice anyway. That's nice. If you can get one, it's nice. Have I just heard Princess? Yes, I have. Of course, doors just open behind me, unless we've got a ghost. But I'm sure it's Princess. Right, we'll carry on with these upcoming sci-fi films you don't want to miss. We started yesterday, but the list is longer than I expected it to be. So we'll carry on. I might not even get to the end of it today. We might finish it tomorrow. So next up is the film Nope, which is from Jordan Peele. And from the trailer, I think this looks promising. I'm not a fan of Get Out and Us, I must admit. And I've not seen his Twilight Zone redo. So I can't comment on that. But Get Out and Us, I didn't really like. I don't think they were bad films, but they just didn't appeal to me. Anyway, it's coming out July 22nd. With the runaway success of Get Out and Us, Jordan Peele has earned the kind of goodwill that sells tickets based on name recognition alone, which is perfect because even though the first trailer for Nope gave us a solid 2 minutes worth of footage, we still don't know very much about what Peele has in store. Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer and Stephen Yeun are all-star as residents of a small California town who make an uncanny and chilling discovery. Oh, another drinky. Hey, so far, we've seen a lot of ominous sky shots and a pretty creepy-looking cloud, which doesn't sound like much to go on. But the internet is nothing if not clever. The secrecy surrounding the film has made lots of room for speculation and wild theories, and the most popular guess promises a chilling sci-fi surprise: aliens. Well, yeah, it looks like some sort of UFO trailer, doesn't it? An especially memorable moment from the trailer sees Keke Palmer whisked into the sky by an invisible force, which is pretty much a staple of alien horror. Some internet sleuths have dug a little deeper and begun to theorise that the title Nope is actually an acronym for Not of Planet Earth. We don't have much to go on, and Peele certainly hasn't let anything slip, but the tagline, "What's a bad miracle?" also points us to the sky. After all, miracles are thought of as a gift from the heavens, and aliens come from up above, but whether Nope delved into aliens or just intensely bad weather, Jordan Peele's track record is pristine, and whatever he's hiding up his sleeve makes this a must-see movie. Black Adam, and there is Rock the Dwayne Johnson. That's July 29th, that's coming out the week after Nope. The long-gestating Black Adam movie starring Dwayne Johnson will finally be hitting theatres this year. In the comics, Teth Adam was selected as the Wizard Shazam's champion long before Billy Batson, but was soon corrupted by his immense powers. Originally intended to be introduced in Shazam as Shazam's arch-nemesis, DC has interestingly chosen to debut the character in his own solo movie. Because the character will be introduced in his own film, the big question is, how monstrous will Black Adam be? He was a villain in the comics for many years before taking a more heroic turn in modern times. It seems likely that DC intends to portray Black Adam as something of an anti-hero. However, it's always possible that he will be the villain of his own story. Now that DC has chosen to play to their own strengths rather than try to catch up to the MCU, it's a particularly thrilling time to be a DC fan. Aside from Johnson in the titular role, the movie will also star Sarah Shahi as Isis, Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate, Noah Centineo as Atom Smasher, Quintessa Swindle as Cyclone, and Aldis Hodge as Hawkman. Pardon me. The movie is directed by Jaume Colette Serra. I don't know. And the script is written by Adam. Oh, crikey, why can't people just have regular names like Smith and Fred and, Jones and Cumberbatch? Adam Sticky. Rory Haynes. See, that's not wrong with that name. And Sorab Noshirvani. We'll have to wait and see. I'm old. I'm old, I just want simple things. We have to wait and see, because I'm a simple man, in every respect, and see if Black Adam can live up to expectations, but it's exciting to think about what Johnson's take on the character will be. Right, Prey. This looks like a Predator thing, doesn't it? Because it's there in the background, and it looks like that could be from a video game, couldn't it? Anyway, release date summer this year on Hulu. Right, pardon me. The Predator franchise has certainly seen its ups and downs over the years, culminating with the critical and box office failure of Shane Black's The Predator in 2018. 'Cause it was bloody awful. God, that was a terrible film. Absolutely terrible. How could Shane Black make such a bad film? I have no idea, because it was awful. It was just awful in every respect. Anyway, however, the upcoming Prey promises to take the property back to its roots while telling a lean, mean survival story set 300 years before the events of the previous Predator movies. Amber Midthunder stars in the film as Naru, a young Comanche warrior who fights to protect her tribe from the very first member of the Predator species to make its way to Earth. Prey will also serve as director Dan Trachtenberg's long-awaited follow-up to his feature debut on 10 Cloverfield Lane. An excellent thriller that proves he knows a thing or two about how to make a riveting sci-fi monster movie. Except there weren't many monsters in 10 Cloverfield Lane, were there? Really? Anyway, next up, Distant. I've not heard of this one. September 16th, this one's coming out. I don't even know what that is. I'm sure it'll tell me here in a minute. Not everyone who goes to space gets the glory. In this case, low-level mining engineer Andy Ramirez, Anthony Ramos from Hamilton. Distant is a new space thriller from the filmmaking team of Will Speck and Josh Gordon, known for their work in comedy films such as Blades of Glory and The Switch. The movie follows Ramos as his spaceship is struck by an asteroid which sends him to an alien planet. Barely surviving with his non-functioning AI suit, voiced by Zachary Quinto from Star Trek. And heroes and other stuff. Andy finds himself grappling with the progressive loss of oxygen, realising that his only shot at survival is to find another survivor. He soon discovers that he isn't alone. Sorry if you heard that. My stomach making noises. He soon discovers that he isn't alone. Aliens are stalking his every move, and his fellow crew member Naomi Scott, from Aladdin apparently, who he connects to via radio, is trapped inside her escape pod. Spencer Collin, from Extinction, wrote the script for the film, which is currently in the post-production stage, and the trailer is yet to be released. I don't think this will be very good, to be honest. I don't. It doesn't grab me. It sounds a bit predictable, to be honest. I mean, we saw there's that other film that we're on about, underappreciated sci-fi films of that film. Is it Oxygen? About that woman trapped in a spaceship or whatever, and her oxygen's running out. And this sounds similar, doesn't it? Anyway, next up, Don't Worry Darling, and there's a weird picture of. Now, is that Jude Law? Or is that Black Widow? Scarlett Johansson? I bet it isn't. Anyway, no, it isn't. It's Olivia Wilde. I bet it's not Jude Law either. No, it's Harry Styles. So it just shows what I know. But it does look a bit like Jude Law, doesn't it? It does. And that does look a bit like Scarlett Johansson's eye. So there. Anyway, in her first film, coming September 23rd, by the way. In her first film as a director since the excellent Booksmart in 2019, Olivia Wilde returns with Booksmart co-screenwriter Katie Silberman to present a mysterious psychological thriller that Wilde describes as the feminine mystique on acid, starring Florence Pugh, it's Florence Pugh, not Olivia Wilde, and Harry Styles. So there is that connection with ScarJo, because she was in Black Widow, wasn't she? And Harry Styles. Don't Worry Darling is about a suburban experimental utopian community in the 1950s that perhaps naturally houses a dark secret. Wilde has promised her film to be an adult and frank exploration of female lust, something Wilde feels isn't seen enough in mainstream feature films, and that's on top of it being a skeleton key to unlocking post-war America's haphazard experiments of Hegelianism. Yeah, but it's not very good either. But you never know, you never know. Right, Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. Oh, there's going to be a two-parter. 7th of October. Spider-Man swinging through New York is a thing of the past. Now it's all about jumping through dimensions. After starting the year right with Peter Parker in Spider-Man No Way Home, we're gearing up to finally return to the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales. Shamik Moore and Haley Steinfeld are back as Miles and Gwen, years after the adventure that bonded the crew of the Spider People. This time around, they're set to embark on a story so epic it needed 2 parts. And while watching Miles awkwardly flirt could certainly fill out a movie or two, our Spider duo are destined to grapple with much bigger problems that see them travelling across dimensions. They'll reunite with old Spidey pals, including Miles' mentor Peter B. Parker, Jake Johnson, and meet some new faces along the way. Across the Spider-Verse promises to the introduction of Issa Rae as Spider-Woman and finally gives us a chance to learn about the futuristic Spider-Man 2099, voiced by Oscar Isaac, who's also playing Moon Knight. The film is set to take everything we loved about the first movie and amp it up to the next level, including the animation style. Like Spider-Verse, the film blends 2D and 3D animation with comic book inspired textures. The bonus, we also get a new animation style for every alternate universe that Miles visits. Yeah, I bet it's good. I quite liked Into the Spider-Verse. Although I wasn't blown away by it, but I did like it. But not as much as the films, the live action films that we've had. Right, The Flash. And there's The Flash and Batman and some sort of baddie with a gun. A concept art, no doubt. Right, November, that's coming out. Ezra Miller returns as DC's resident speedster in The Flash, the first standalone film based on the superhero character. Argentine filmmaker Andy Muschietti, I didn't know he was from Argentina, directs the movie. It is inspired by the Flashpoint comic book crossover story where Barry Allen travels back in time to prevent his mother's murder. If there's anything we've learned from Barry Allen's story arc, it is that bad things happen when you mess with time, and changing the past rarely ever changes the future, in a good way at least. The comic book story follows the character as his actions bring unintended consequences. In the film, Miller's superhero opens a multiverse by travelling back in time and runs into 2 different versions of the Caped Crusader, of the Batman, portrayed by Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck respectively. During his missteps, whether the film achieves the emotional complexity as the Arrowverse television show episode that adapted the same story remains to be seen. Sasha Calle makes her silver screen debut as Supergirl. Kiersey Clemens plays Iris West. Michael Shannon will be seen as General Zod. Very interesting. And Maribel Verdú will play Barry's mother, Nora Allen. But is it going to be like, in the Flashpoint where Batman is Thomas Wayne, Bruce's dad, and the Joker is Martha Wayne in She. And I think, is it the world's devastated or something because there's been a war between Atlantis and Themyscira and something like that. The Amazons and the ocean people, the aqua people. Anyway, right, we'll do one. How many more is there? Keep going. I think there's still got quite a few to go. So we'll do one more, and then I think we'll finish them tomorrow, or maybe not. I forgot where we're up to now. Where were we? Here we go. Black Panther. Is it? Yeah. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I think this has been in news recently, actually. But I can't remember why. Maybe it'll mention it. November 11th. It's been nearly 4 years since Black Panther changed the trajectory of the superhero film. No, it didn't. Fans have been anxiously waiting for a sequel to the 2018 phenomenon, but returning to the world of Wakanda feels bittersweet after the tragic death of Chadwick Boseman in 2020. Marvel Studios are adamant about honouring Boseman's legacy moving forward, and though the role of T'Challa will always belong to the late actor, the legacy of the Black Panther will continue in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Director Ryan Coogler returns to helm the sequel, and so have key members of the cast like Lupita Nyong'o, Danai Gurira, Letitia Wright, Winston Duke and Angela Bassett. They'll also be joined by some new faces, Michaela Cole from I May Destroy You and Tenoch Huerta from Narcos. Pardon me. Though their roles in the film are under tight wraps, Wakanda Forever will also mark the live-action debut of Riri Williams, also known as Ironheart in Marvel Comics. Wakanda Forever is but one of many superhero projects on the horizon. While franchise fatigue can be overwhelming, Black Panther has always felt like a departure from the genre. The film helped bring Afrofuturism and a roster of powerful black characters to the MCU for the first time. Setbacks aside, Wakanda Forever will definitely expand the world that Boseman helped bring to life, and it's a world that Coogler believes the actor would have wanted fans to continue celebrating. Not for the first time. Don't forget. Names. What they call him? Him that plays the Iron Patriot. It's been played by two actors, hasn't he? Don Cheadle. Him. He were in before Black Panther, wasn't he? But that's just one character. I liked Black Panther. It were alright, but I didn't think it was as amazing as people made out to be. But you have to be careful, aren't you, saying stuff these days. We'll do one more and then we'll leave Avatar 2 for another time. Right, so what's this one? Strange World. This looks like an animated film. Get ready for a brand new animated adventure from Disney when Strange World heads your way this Thanksgiving. Little has been announced about the film thus far, but Disney Animation did reveal concept art describing Strange World as a film that journeys deep into an uncharted and treacherous land where fantastical creatures await the legendary Clades, a family of explorers whose differences threaten to topple their latest and by far most crucial mission. This marks the 61st animated feature from the Mouse House and will be written by Queen Nguyen, I don't know, and will also co-direct with Don Hall. The pair previously worked together on Raya and the Last Dragon. No voice cast has been announced as of yet, and little is known about the plot. However, Hall has cited pulp magazines as a major inspiration for Strange World, which should give Disney's newest animated feature a unique spin. Well, yeah, it looks like I used to see on the old, pulp sci-fi magazine covers. They had paintings like that, didn't they? Of strange worlds, and I bet there was one called that Strange Worlds, Strange Worlds magazine. Anyway, so there we go. So yeah, but I wish it looks like it's going to be another CG one. It'd be nice to have regular animation again, but I'm old, I miss things. Right, so we'll leave that again. We'll come back to Avatar 2 tomorrow, because look, we're only halfway down this page. If you can't see it from there, but I'm looking at the little, the slider that goes up that page. We're only halfway down. Ooh, so we'll leave it there. I'll get rid of that splosh. There we go. And we'll leave it there for tonight, and we'll carry on that tomorrow. And hopefully there'll be some more news. Hopefully we all haven't been blown up as Russia and Ukraine duke it out. Mostly Russia doing the duking and Ukraine doing the stop hitting me. Unbelievable. Anyway, so we'll leave it there, and hopefully there'll be some nice happy news tomorrow, I hope, and I won't have to resort to drinking rum and coke to cheer myself up. But anyway, so we'll leave it there, and until tomorrow, I'll see thee.